good size sail in that. Well, sadly we have to leave today. Mark was just here for a short couple of days to do some work, and before we leave this afternoon we're going to do a couple things. I'm going to pick him up in about an hour and a half. So I thought I'd head out to one more lighthouse, another one that I've never been to, called it's on the Currituck Sound, called the Corolla Lighthouse. According to my GPS, it's about 20 minutes away, so I'm going to head off now. I'm here at the Currituck Beach Lighthouse, and the grounds are really pretty. It's right in the middle of a historic village, so we'll see what else is here. There's a first look at it. It's really pretty red brick, which you don't see very often. So this is at the base of the lighthouse, right as you enter. Pictures of some of the keepers and their wives and families. I just love all these old pictures. It's 220 steps to the top. See how far I make it. Are you going all the way to the top? Good for you. I don't know if I'm going to make it or not. We'll see. That's kind of daunting. We'll see if I make it. Can you imagine having to climb these every day, probably several times a day? All right, here's the view out the first window, looking down at one of the keepers' houses. It says this window is 42 feet from the ground, facing west. Okay, we're now 63 feet from the ground, facing east, and you're just beginning to see the open out there. Okay, now we're 82 feet from the ground, facing west, and you can see the sound, the Currituck Sound, out behind the houses out there. Starting to get really pretty views now. And that's how far we've come so far. Not too bad, I'm surprising myself. I love how there's information all along the way, educational stuff about this particular lighthouse, historical facts, and old pictures. It's really well done. Now we're 102 feet from the ground. I'm starting to get tired. We're facing east again, and now you can really see the ocean. See all the beach houses out there. Oh, here's another view. We're almost at the top now. Got these narrow stairs to do. From here you can see the ocean on this side and the sound on this side. And this is a barrier island, which is just a narrow strip of land separating the two. We're at the top.
It never gets old. And I've always, like, unfortunately, height has never.
So this would have been the outhouse, or the smaller keeper's house, which is now a gift shop. Oh, it's so cute.
Let's let Grandma and Grandpa know that Grandma and Daddy know that we're back in.
And here's some of the lighthouses. I did the Body Island one, the Hatteras one, and now the Currituck one. I'll have to do Ocracoke next time I come. So according to the pamphlet, this smaller one would have actually been the principal keeper's house. And this one is a double, and so it would have actually housed two keepers and their families. I'm learning as I visit all these lighthouses that standard staffing was three. Couple facts about the lighthouse. It is 162 feet tall from the roof to the ground. It has 220 steps, used approximately 1 million bricks to build it. And its diameter at the base is 28 feet. And by the time you get to the parapet at the top, it's 16.8 feet. I think it's really pretty. I think it's one of the prettiest ones I've seen. So yeah, these are residences. Really interesting. I'd love to live in one of those. But I'm really, really glad I went to that lighthouse. I think of the three, of course the other two were closed for climbing right now. But this one was very interesting. I love the village there with the, or the lighthouse keeper's residence, I should say. So I'm back at Jockey's Ridge today. Yesterday I had hoped to get some good footage of the dunes and maybe somebody hang gliding, I'm hoping. But it was really close to closing time. The park closes at 8 and I didn't know how long it was going to take me to get over the dunes and back, so I decided to come back today. But I just wanted to show you here at the state park. There's a hang gliding school. As I said, I'm hoping we'll see some hang gliders today. They do have a school here so that you can take lessons and rent the equipment. Obviously, you don't have to know how to do it already. And then there's a visitor's center where you can learn a little bit about the dunes and get a map. we left the beach for. It is loud.